Hi, welcome to Grumpy Sheep, Happy Llama. We're talking to you today from two different parts of Canada. I'm talking to you from Vancouver Island, and my name is Robin. And Sylvie?
I am talking to you from Eastern Ontario. And again, my name is Sylvie.
I was supposed to let her say her own name, but I forgot. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, welcome. I hope you have something crafty that you can work on and something nice to drink, either hot or cold. And I hope you enjoy your little bit of time with us today.
Yes. So normally, as you know, we our run through is the our knit-alongs, our finished objects, our whips, spinning, and if there's any other crafts we've been working on. So knit-alongs, Robin, we have lots going on, although the list is shortening a little bit.
It is. We just finished our Telegram to You Shawl KAL that ended the 31st of May, but we still have our year-long Sock KAL going. And it's a sock knit along, but the caveat for that one is to knit from a sock pattern from one of your many sock books that you have. So we have thread in our Ravelry group there, Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama, where you can check that out. Yeah. What are the other KALs we have going on, Sylvie?
We have our mitten along. So that's going from, that started on daylight saving times, which was, I forget the date that started on already.
Me too. Sometime in March, I think.
Yes, probably. And it's going to end in November 13th, I think we said, which is back to standard saving time. Standard time. Back to standard time.
Standard time. Yeah.
So the mittens is, you could do, from your imagination, patterns from Ravelry, from your books, whatever, but it does have to cover your palm of the hand type deal. So anything goes as long as it covers the palm. Yeah.
So fingerless mitts, but not wrist warmers. Don't count. Wrist warmers don't count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we are going to start on June 21st. It's the Whitfield socks or Wheatfield socks. And I'll put the name of the designer there at the bottom. I already forget her name. She's a Ukrainian designer, and so that's why we decided to go with her to support Ukrainian designer through these times, I guess you can say. But also when we went to Knit City in Montreal, we each picked up skein from Leo and Roxy, which the colorway was the colorway for Knit City, but also it resembled or is actually the colors of the Ukrainian flag, which is pretty much.
Well, the minis are anyway. Yeah.
The minis are, yeah.
Yeah. So
we've been looking for a pattern that we could all knit using this particular skein with the minis, and we found that one there. So of course you're more than welcome to join us with that sock along. You don't need to use this particular skein, whatever skein that you want or color that you want, but you might want to add maybe some blue and yellow at the cuff if you like to. Yeah. So that's starting June 21st and will end, I think we said August 31st it will end. Yes. Which is harvest, the start of harvest.
Yeah. So we thought we have our resident wheat farmer from Saskatchewan who told us that normally they start around the 21st of June for their, was that necessarily true? We'll start the hay making, I guess, or the wheat combine at the end of August. Sorry, I'm getting my different ideas mixed up. But we're going to be starting on June 21st for this knit along. Yeah. Also, if you buy the pattern, I guess there's a certain percentage, if not the whole proceeds. I'm not sure. I don't have the information in front of me because, of course, I'm talking to you on my phone. I can't look it up. But I think a certain amount of the proceeds from the sales of that pattern will be going to some charity for Ukraine. So that would also be a good thing. Yeah, which is really good. So I hope you join us for that. There will be a thread. I think it's open, maybe not. There will be a thread in our group on Ravelry with respect to that knit along. So I hope you join us for that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I think so.
Yes. And then
we have for July.
Yes, July 1st. What's on July 1st?
July 1st is Tour de Fleece. Yeah. I still have to set up that thread in Ravelry, but it'll just be an informal thing to spin along and try to form some camaraderie and stuff in your spinning.
Exactly. Just to encourage each other and, have fun.
Yeah. So. And challenge you to test yourself or to try something that you maybe didn't try before.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what else, Sylvie?
It's the festive sweater as well. So the festive sweater is a pattern made by Skein Deer Knits. And like I've mentioned before, she's designed this sweater or cardigan where you can select different motifs. And so you can do a full on color work, or you could just do the yoke, whatever you want to do. And you can get to choose the different motif that's in the pattern. So you don't have to do exactly what she has in her pattern. You can mix and match whatever you want to do. So that starts on July 1st. Yes. A lot of planning on that one. So that's why we're mentioning it now.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to go shopping for that one.
Yeah.
If I want to start July 1st, and I probably kind of will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I could be here for a bit. So yes,
So,
we could be doing something for a bit.
Yeah. So that's it for now. I mean, we did talk about doing the sweater along in October, starting a sweater along in October, but we haven't really hashed out the details. Same with the KAL, which is, I think it was called the Boo KAL, or it's a Halloween KAL. It's got ghosts and I think pumpkins or whatever. It's really cute.
Yeah.
So we haven't looked, I mean, we've talked about it really quick, but haven't really hashed it out, I guess you could say. So that's to come later on. I think we've had enough going on right now as is. So
I think so. And then we can always, throw in the Shetland wool we cat once it's released, and we can say possibly, and this is just an idea, knit any of the wool we cats and have a knit along for that, because some people may or may not like certain designs from certain years, but there are often, like, all of them that are really pretty. So, I did a whole bunch of them using Briggs and Little Sport too, so it can be really affordable. And, you don't have to use the Jemison and Smith yarn, although it's nice to do so. But yeah, Briggs and Little works out really nicely for that too. Yeah. So now I guess we talk about our finished objects.
Our finished objects. Yay, I only have one. And it's the telegram.
You said you had two.
No, I only have one.
Oh, one. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. Because it's been a crazy couple of weeks. So this is the telegram for you, Shawl. Robin finished hers at the last podcast. Oh, I have it upside down. Hold on here. But I finally finished mine, which I love and cannot wait to wear.
Yeah.
So Robin basically started with this colorway here, and I ended it with that colorway, which was Arctic Wolf.
Yes.
And this is the System Buddy or Buddy System. Yeah. And Baby Iceberg. So I like that name.
Yeah. It's a beautiful shade of blue too.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good. Yeah.
So that's what I finished. I was happy I got one finished.
I still haven't blocked mine. I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah. So for my whip, this is for
your whip or your finished object?
Sorry, my finished object.
Okay.
I think I need more coffee. I haven't had any in days and days. This is for, also it's just something that I wanted to work on, but it was also for Echo's inclusion KAL that she has working with her podcast and on Instagram. And I should probably take a picture of this now, but it's still kind of damp though.
And her podcast is the Knitted Bean, right?
Yes, that's correct. So I knit a sweater. I wanted to have size inclusive was my thing, and also price wise. And let me tell you, price wise, this sweater that I'm about to show you cost $42, I think, for the whole sweater.
Yeah, I believe it.
$42 for a 100% wool sweater out of Briggs and Little Regal. I ended up buying more yarn for my size 48 that I knit, and I only used one skein of each color. I used one skein of each color, except for one color I used two skeins, but I purchased two skeins of each color. Just in case. I have 4 skeins left over to make mittens with for our mitten KAL.
Yeah.
So that's good. But if I had purchased the right amount of yarn, in the end, I ended up using $42 worth of yarn for an entire sweater.
Nice.
So I think that's really impressive. It's still damp. You can't tell it's damp because you can't see dampness, but here's the sweater, and it actually matches my parents' couch.
Close. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, the colors are the same, not the design, of course. This is very geometric versus floral, but the colors are pretty, except for that I have navy and they have black, but the colors are the same.
That's gorgeous, Robin. I like that.
Thank you. So this is Stratified, and it's from La Bien-Aimé's book called Worsted. And this is by, Jill Nielsen, I think was her name.
I think it was. I had her name the last time. I'll put it back on there again. Okay. But it's Nielsen, something Nielsen, but yeah. Yeah, because I didn't bring the book with me. I took quick photocopies so I could finish my pattern, or to make the pattern. But anyway, so this is done. This is my FO. I really like it.
The only thing that I would say is that the neck is more of a boat line neck. I don't like boat necks. I don't like kind. Had wished it had been more rounded, and if the short rows had been done differently, and I wasn't paying attention, but if the short rows had been done differently, it would have been a more rounded crew neck as opposed to boat neck. But I can live with that. I'm sure it'll still get lots of wear. It doesn't really come up and choke me or anything, at least, but it's more of a straight line than I would have preferred. So that's my only FO, but I think it's pretty good for
it is
for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Going to our works in progress.
Yes, there are many.
I don't have all that much. So I cast it on finally. I cast it on the Love Note.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm knitting it. I found these. Well, I have another skein too. I found these. This is a sport. Mohair, nylon, and merino. And it's dyed by Lindsay.
Nice. Oh, was that from the festival that we went to?
Yes, out in Johnstown. Exactly.
Yes, okay.
So I just casted on this week. I'm just starting on the lace, so you really can't see much right now. So it's just kind of like looking like this here right now. Just
like my dad's
the beginning of the lace, so you can't even really see the lace.
Nice.
But yeah, it's going to be. I'm going to like this sweater when it's done. It'll be nice to wear on top of even like in the spring, and on top of a tank top, or in the fall or winter, just on top of another sweater. It's going to be really nice.
So do you think you'll need to wear a shirt underneath?
Yes. With this one here, yes.
Yeah, okay. Because with ranunculus, you didn't have to.
No. And there's some different other types of yarn that you probably wouldn't need to, depending on how your gauge is and the type of yarn. But this particular yarn here, yes, I will need to wear a sweater underneath it, or a camisole or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Because I noticed that the lace work went kind of low. So, but some people depended on how low or high your boobs were, I guess, if you had to wear something underneath or not.
Yeah.
Well, or maybe
I could tell right now here with this yarn, it's kind of holy, like it is, like it's kind of holy. So yeah, it's going to be a see-through thing. So yeah, I'll have to wear something underneath, which is fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I am currently right now. I'm working on the Midori pullover. Let me just see if I can find. This is what I have so far. I had mentioned this before as something I wanted to cast on. I think it's not quite. This is from Unit from Toronto.
Yes.
I'll see if I have a picture to show you from my pattern. Well, it's not a very good picture, but anyway.
There's the picture. Try to post something better, but I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and I got the yarn for it too, like the one that they use, Harrisville Daylights and DK weight. And I had started it and then ripped it out because I thought I didn't want to use DK weight yarn on 6.5 millimeter needles to get a gauge of 50 stitches over 4 inches. So I thought that I would make a bigger size, but you get a smaller gauge, bigger gauge, smaller gauge, tighter gauge. Excuse me. And I didn't like how it looks. I ripped it out, but now I'm doing it the way they said on 6.5 millimeter needles. And it's actually looking all right. Yeah. So I think when I wash it, I think it might bloom a little bit.
Possibly, yeah.
and fill in some of the spots. So anyway, we'll see. But this is one of my whips.
Nice.
Do you have? I think we should go back and forth, take turns.
I just have one more. I mean, I have lots of other whips, but what I've been working on these past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The past 2 weeks, so I finished the shawl. I have the Love Note, and these are my work socks. So when I go to work, I kind of like knit on them at lunchtime. So they're knit with Biscotte Coccinelle, which is ladybug. So that's
from Biscotte.
Yeah. So I already have the one done. So I'm just working on the second one.
Oh, good. I should get the Coccinelle one too.
I like it.
I think we still have one in our shop. If not,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I might do that. You can go snag it for me. I might buy that because I have the kiwi one, but I don't have the Coccinelle.
Oh. Yeah.
I might do that. Okay. And it's going to be gone before anybody sees this podcast. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's okay. So I also have knitwise. So I guess it's not too bad. I'm doing the Super Sock World Championship, and we had so this was kind of cool. I learned 2 techniques. One technique I've been trying to avoid, but I was kind of forced to do it. This Jacquard ladder back, whatever it's called, something ladder back for color work. Whenever you have stranded stuff and you have huge gaps between when you have to strand your work to make sure it looks nice, because you can't catch the wool all the way through. So you do I can't remember the name, something ladder back. I keep calling it Jacob's ladder, but that's not at all what it is. So the back ends up looking like this, and it's not as awful as I thought it would be. Although I find my gauge for stranded for this, it's not as great looking. So I'm hoping blocking will fix it. But anyway, we had to do a bike. So there's a bicycle for the back. And then that was one technique I had to learn. And then I actually sat down to learn how to do helical knitting.
Fun?
Sorry?
I said, isn't that fun? The helical knitting? I love it.
It's good, but it was funny because I've kind of used it before, but I guess I was making up my own stuff and looking at how to do it properly. And it's much easier when you do it properly.
Really?
Yeah. So then it's like, well, why didn't I look it up before? I just kind of made it up, but it's much better if you look it up.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got, that's a really loose Kitchener toe. I'm going to have to fix that. Anyway, so I finished one sock. I still have the other one to go, but I have to be honest. I'm procrastinating because I didn't enjoy doing that.
Yeah. That's
if it were just regular, like stranded knitting with close designs and the most number of stitches you have in between is 7 or whatever, like usual, then I would have no problem going ahead. And I like that kind of knitting, but I didn't love this, but now I have an extra set of tools in my toolbox, right? So
that's a good way of looking at it.
Thanks. So that's the other thing. And then the other thing, my dad's vest. So last time
how's that coming along?
It's coming, but I have to break it up with, like straight stocking stitch and then do color work and whatever. So last time you saw me, I had just cast on the ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have this much done.
Very nice.
Thank you. So this is the repeat. So this big star panel here and then this little panel here.
Yeah.
So I have to do this a total of 4 times before I divide for the armholes.
Okay.
But it's interesting because she doesn't steek her thing. She wants me to knit back and forth at the top part of the vest, and I'm not doing that. Sorry. I'm going to steek it. So I can continue to knit in the round. I don't know why it's written like that. I mean, I could. I mean, back in the day, that's how we did color work, was back and forth. It wasn't.
Did you read further into the pattern to see if maybe there is a reason why?
No, I didn't. The pattern is pretty sparsely written.
Okay.
It just tells you what you need to know. It doesn't really I mean, I can look again because, we know my fiasco with that shawl when I was only doing this one thing, or one page 1 forever. Anyway, yeah. So I will look it up, but
or I could just be like the old way, I guess, too. Who knows?
I don't know, but she's a big steeker, so I'm kind of surprised. But I don't want to because my purl gauge is different than my knit gauge.
Right.
So I don't want to mess it up. So anyway, so that's my other, I think that's it. I just have this other sock to finish. I am making a pair of socks for my dad. I'm making a broken rib.
Okay.
But I didn't bring it here, and it's with Peyton's Croy. My dad likes his socks by Peyton's Croy.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I thought he liked the West Yorkshire Spinners the best, but he came to me and he said, out of all the socks, these are the socks that make my feet feel like they're home. And that just makes it feel like it's the right place for them to be. And it was Peyton's Croy, the Oxford Grey. Yeah. And the pattern too, which was the broken rib, like 2x2. Yeah. You have a stitch for the one round or one row, I guess, or one round and knit for the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised.
Well, that's okay. That's an affordable yarn to knit socks with.
But it's not because...
Not anymore? I haven't bought any because
my dad's feet are so big,
right.
He would need at least possibly 4 balls of that yarn to finish it. And it's selling now for almost $10 a ball. So that means
that shows you how long I haven't bought some patent.
Yeah.
Because
Well, it's
they weren't
fine
that
if you have,
expensive before.
yeah, and it's fine if you have regular size feet. You need 2 balls, right? But I need
Yes.
3 my size of my feet, and my dad's feet are even much bigger than mine are. So I'm going to see if he can get by with 3, and I'll do something else with the 4th ball. But I mean, like that's potentially $30-40 for Peyton's Croy yarn, and you can spend 32 for hand dyed beautiful sock
Yeah.
yarn.
Can
know,
you
so-
shorten the leg, or does he have a preference?
Well, he's 6'6", so he's would like to have at least the same height that I have, right? Which is 7 inches for the leg before starting to heal. So anyway, I just find it overpriced, and there's not enough yardage for it. But
Yeah.
anyway, kind of disappointing, but that's life, right? Who said life
Yeah.
was going to be fair? So that's also the thing that I'm working on. I think that's it for my whips.
Okay. Spinning. You traded in that spinning wheel you were telling me.
I did. And now I have a Louet or Louet. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know what kind of Louet that I have though. It's double treadle. It's a newer
Okay.
one. I think I'm like the first person to use this wheel.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. So I like it. It's nice, but I don't like it as much as my Ladybug, let's say.
Of course.
And it's Irish tension, which is interesting. So yeah, it's nice. But I've been spinning again, which is what I wanted, because I used to spin at home. I spun every day. I had to get up in the morning and make my coffee and sit and I'd spin while I drank my coffee. And I wasn't doing that here, and certainly not I wasn't spinning at all with that wheel. And now I get my cup of tea in the morning and nobody else is awake yet. And I sit down at the wheel and I start spinning. So I've been enjoying it.
Good.
So what have I been spinning, Sylvie, you may ask?
Yes. What have you been doing?
So when I packed my stuff, I wanted to bring some older rovings and stuff that I had. So this is some Cormo that I had purchased 10 or 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I finally spun it up, and it's from a farm called Apple Rose. It's an Apple Rose farm, applerose.com. And I checked them out. They're still in business.
Oh,
And they
cool.
still sell Cormo. So this was 4 ounces of Cormo that I spun. The only thing is I don't know what my ratio is for spinning on this wheel. So I'm guessing the ratio was 8-1. It feels kind of 8-1, but I don't know. And then I borrowed a Nitty Naughty, and I think the Nitty Naughty is a 1.5 yards in one revolution, but I don't know.
Right.
So I might have 254 yards of 2-ply here, but I don't know. So a lot of unknowns. But anyway, I spun that up. It's done.
Nice.
I'm happy with this. Was definitely woolen spun.
I like that color. It's kind of like a rusty orangey color. I like that.
Yeah, and it actually shows up fairly accurately in the camera.
Yeah.
So it was neppy, and it had some, you can tell it came from a live animal that ate hay and stuff, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it was, there were some, this is one of those skeins where you just have to let it go and not worry about the fact that maybe you're going to get a little bit of unevenness. I don't know if you can see a little bit of unevenness. It all kind of worked out in the end anyway. So I was quite happy with this. And it's good because I have a green one yet to spin from the same people.
Oh, nice.
Another 4 ounces. So that's done. I also went, I'll do that later. So I went to a yarn festival here in Coombs, BC, on the island. And it was amazing. It was just a little bit bigger than that one we went to in Johnstown.
Okay.
But they had a lot more people, and the flow of traffic was really good. So no, maybe they had twice the amount of space, Sylvie. They might have had twice the amount of space because they had another room kind of off. It was like an L-shaped room. It was an L-shape. And they had everything from your usual stuff, like Knit City type stuff, where they had hand-dyed sock yarn, all the way through to raw fleeces you could buy, processed like rovings, or just washed fleeces in a bag. It was fabulous. And there were a couple of places I was going to return to, but I had to make an emergency escape because I had spent all my money and I didn't want to buy more. And so therefore I couldn't see anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of did this and I left in a hurry, and everybody was like, "Where'd Robin go? That she was supposed to come back here." And it's like, no, I can't see anymore. So
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So I spent some money there. So, but I set it aside, but I blew it. very quickly.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I know. So this is the reason I'm talking about that is because I spun this one this morning, and this is one of the fleeces. This is from Jill's Fibres, and her website is jillsfibres.ca, and it's Romney.
Nice.
And it was a woolen preparation. Usually Romney is long enough that most of the time when I've spun this, it's been a worsted prep. So it's all been like a top, right? But this was a carded roving. And it was such a nice spin. It reminded me of spinning that stuff from what's her face from Quebec there, the East Frisian.
Oh yeah, from Tamis Quagga.
Yes. It was such a nice spin. And luckily I've got a red one yet to spin.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, nice color, right? Look at the two of them together.
Oh, that's gonna be gorgeous together if that's what you're planning on doing, using them together.
Perhaps. I think they're 60 grams. This one's 55 grams and this was 60 grams.
Okay.
I think she did it on a drum carder.
Okay.
Excuse me. And so then she pulled roving from the drum carder. So anyway, I spun that too. And this I have 84 yards and it's probably a worsted weight, DK worsted weight, but I don't have my little measuring thing. So I can't measure my wraps per inch.
Right.
And then remember how last time when I did my spindle spinning, and you were making fun of me because, well, not really making fun of me, but you were teasing me or whatever because I had managed to do a chain ply from a support spindle and it was the whole, tapping your head. I did it again.
Yay!
I know. And it was during the Ontario hand spinning seminar. So I managed to do that when we were listening to them talk. And so this again, I did a 3-ply and it was because it was a small bat from Crafty Jack's Boutique. And I wish I had a picture of it before I started, but this is when I was packing up my stuff, but I didn't take a picture of it, sadly. Nor do I have the information of what the composition of this is. But I wanted to try to keep the colors together, even though it would have looked really nice too had I done a 2-ply, but I'm really glad that I did a 3-ply. And I don't know what my yard is. So anyway, but that's done. I was very happy to have done it again. So now it's repeatable, Sylvie. So now that you've taken your spindle course, you can try to do this if you want to do a 3-ply.
No, not for a while yet.
Oh, that's fine. You don't have to do it tomorrow, but now it can be done. And maybe you can do a challenge for next year's Tour de Fleece.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. And this is a sneak peek for 4 weeks from now, breed study. Because I did the wrong one.
It's done. It's okay. That's good.
Yeah. And I'm spindle spinning another one. This is merino and something. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm spinning this one now too. And I have to say, I love this spindle by Judy Kavanaugh, my support spindle. This is such a workhorse. I have 2 of hers and I love them to bits. They're probably my favorite ones. I imagine that they are actually. So yeah, Judy Kavanaugh, she's on Etsy.
She is.
Yeah. So that's spinning.
Good. I don't have as much spinning as you, but you mentioned the supported spindling course. So basically we did the Ontario hand spinning seminar again this year. And so last year they didn't have the little individual courses or workshops, but this year they did online. And so I decided to, because I'm not comfortable with the supported spindling yet, decided to take that course with that Rachel Smith was actually hosting. She was the teacher, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because she just taught herself within the last year how to do support spinning.
Yeah, supported. So it was pretty good actually. So as I was listening and watching, I was doing my own little supported spindling with my little cauldron here. And so I don't know if it was just because I was practicing more with it or whatever, or if there was something that she said, but something finally clicked in my brain. And so it's like, now I get it. And now it's going a lot easier and faster. And so it'll just get better with more practice. So
good for you. Good for you.
So I'm happy with that. And she's confirmed a few things for me too. So that's good. It's basically, how to, and maybe because with the spinning on the wheel, I used to do a lot of worsted spinning, and I'm now doing more of some long draw. And I think that probably helped maybe click in my brain how to do the supported spinning, because it really is, having to use the long draw technique with that, I find. So
yes, exactly. I don't know how you could do a worsted spinning with a supported because you don't have a hands.
So I've been practicing. This is BFL from Fairy Fiber Pusher.
Fiber Pusher Fairy.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And I know you've kept saying that, with supported spinning, it's better if you have worsted prep, or not worsted, woolen prep fiber, blah, blah, blah. But this is like not a woolen prep. And then I thought, you know what, why didn't I do this before? Because I was struggling with this here. It's like, I'm just going to card it, because you do that often too. I'm going to card this sucker, and I'm going to make it as a woolen prep. And that helped a lot too.
Do you know what else you can do if you don't want to card it necessarily, because there are color changes in there? I have this one braid of hers. What I was doing was I broke off a staple length and I folded it over my finger.
Yeah, that was something else.
It from my finger.
That was something else that she mentioned, that you can do it from the fold. But I don't mind. Blending these colors. This just for practice, but it's good to know for if I don't want to with other rovings, that I could do it over the fold type deal. So yeah.
You could also do the same thing and then make a little poonie by rolling it over a pencil and pulling the pencil out. Then you have like a little miniature roll-egg, right? To apply
that's true. Yeah, that's another good tip. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
cool.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Yes, me too. I'm being assimilated.
I know. It takes a while for me sometimes. That's the same thing with my spinning wheel. I'm so excited about something. I'll purchase the equipment or whatever, and then I'll try to use it and I'll try to practice, and it's just not clicking in my brain for whatever reason. And it'll sit there for like close to a year. Like the supported spinner I bought that last year, and it sat there for a while. And then I'll pick it up again, and it's like, oh, then it kind of like clicks. This is how it goes. We're good now.
Good. Sometimes it just needs to percolate. Yeah.
Percolate for a long time sometimes.
Maybe. Well, it was kind of like me in high school with mathematics. There were certain things I couldn't get at all. And then I went back as an adult and I ended up getting a minor in mathematics. So, but in high school, it was a complete struggle.
Yeah.
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 But something just seemed to click. And then there we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes.
So have you been doing other spinning or other crafty goodies?
Oh, I forgot to show you this.
Oh.
Yeah. This is Corriedale Merino and Sari silk.
Nice.
And this is something I purchased as well from the festival last Sunday. And it's from Small Bird Workshop. She's in Nanaimo, BC. And I really like it. So I went onto her website and I bought another one. So I have this one 100-gram skein spun, not a skein, a bump. And I'm waiting for the other one. So then I want to apply the two of them together to make a 2-ply and get a huge length of this stuff. But it's very nice. And these bobbins are really huge. There's no way I could fit this on my Lendrum.
I was going to say, that's a big bobbin. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping when I ply, I can ply it onto one bobbin, but I'm not really sure. Probably not. But I can try.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. That's really nice. I really like this too. So one of the things that I find that we can't really find where we live is Romney sheep. There used to be enough Romneys near Kingston, but I think she sold her flock and retired. So I don't know where else we can get Romneys in our area, but there are a lot of Romney sheep out here. So I took advantage of that. And I got this washed fiber from a woman here called Jackie Cormier. And so as soon as I saw her, I went in, I'm looking for Romney. And there she was with all of her fluff. So I bought, thinking of the airplane, because I don't have hand cards with me here or any way to process them. I didn't want to get too much because I have to bring it home in the plane. But she said, if you buy 4, you pay for 3 and you get the 4th one for free.
Oh, nice.
So I bought 5. What I should have done, had I been smarter, was bought 8 and paid for 6. But, I was at that stage where I have to leave here because I'm spending too much money. So anyway, I've got 5 of these, 500 grams of this white Romney fiber that's washed. Very happy with that. I have a small bat of fiber. Actually, it's not so small.
Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't it gorgeous? This is from Endless Roving and Fibercraft, and she lives on Pender Island, BC. Nice. That's her card, if you can see it. And this is actually surprisingly it's 1.7 ounces. I don't know why I read that it's grams, 100 grams. I thought, wow, that's really small for 100 grams. It's not, it's an ounce. But that's 1 ounce bat, and it's beautiful.
I like the colors in that.
Me too. So that's going to be heading to my spindle when I finish spinning this, of course.
Yeah.
So, and this is comprised of 30% alpaca, 20% silk, and 50% merino.
Nice.
And by the same person, I had to get this, even though it's got a lot of merino, but look, I love blue and orange.
That makes me think of a goldfish.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I love these colors. So this is, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had them mixed up. This is the alpaca silk merino.
Okay.
So 30, 20, 50. And the bat, I'm sorry, is 80% merino and 20% silk. I got the items mixed up, but it's by the same person from Pender Island. And then Small Bird Workshop, I've purchased from her for years, and I've actually met her. Sometimes she comes to our spinning guild in Coombs.
Right.
So she's the one that had this loveliness. Yeah. She also had this similar loveliness, which is Shetland and Sari silk.
Oh, nice.
And it's, I don't know if you can see the colors.
Yeah.
But it's pretty too. Yeah. Gray Shetland, 100 grams of that. And I should show you her tag in case you don't know her. She's got her own website now. She used to sell off Etsy, but now she has her own website.
Nice.
And then there's this, and this is Romney, and it's a Romney Gotland cross. The sheep is a cross of Romney Gotland and Romney sheep, purebred. So, and this is BC sourced and Ontario processed. So I wonder who processed it. Yeah. So there's that, and then the red stuff that I showed you before, the Romney. Yeah. And that's it. So I did pretty well.
Good stuff.
I might have it all spun up by next time.
Oh, I believe you.
Maybe.
Or sure you will.
Well, it'll fit more easily in a suitcase if it's just hanks of yarn versus. Same thing with my sweaters, right? I think it's going to be smaller when they're sweaters folded up versus big cakes of Briggs and Little yarn.
I guess so.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, that's the idea.
Yeah.
How about you? Anything else?
No, well, actually this afternoon, I finally made my way to Garden Pathway or Garden Path handmade soap in Van Cleek Hill. It is a gorgeous spot there. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. She has beautiful grounds in the back with flowers and stuff, and a nice little shop where she makes handmade soap and handmade candles. Just gorgeous. Oh. And so I was talking to them and I said, so they are open, like they had today, today they had a special day where they had other vendors there selling their stuff, like different handmade stuff. But I was asking her, I said, her store is open pretty much on a weekly basis. They're closed, I think it's like Monday, Tuesday. But I was saying, can we just come in and then use the back, her backyard, I guess you could say, to just sit, and have a picnic or knit or whatever. And she said, yes, of course, you could definitely come and do that.
Oh, nice.
So I have an idea, maybe later on in the summertime, maybe grab our knitting friends around this area. I don't know if you'll be back or not, but it'd be kind of cool to make a day or an afternoon of it, to head over, check out her shop and sit in the back, knit away a little bit. Yeah.
Nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Did you see Andrea when you were there from Indigo Hill?
Nope, she was not there.
Okay.
But I know I talked to Denise. I dropped off our Sock of the Club for the first month. I dropped that off to her this afternoon on my way out there. And she was saying that yesterday in Van Cleek Hill, they had a trash and treasure, I guess they call it. So there was a huge bunch of vendors there too. So she might have had a vending booth there. But the Tea of Kindness, the lady that does the tea, where we did the tea tasting, she was there at the garden.
A cup of kindness.
Or a cup of kindness. That's what it is. Yes. Exactly. She was there.
Nice. Yeah, she had some good tea there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some tea I wanted to get from her, but she didn't have it in stock yet. So, oops, sorry, I just dropped my stitch marker. That sounds really nice.
Yeah.
I ordered some sock yarn from Invictus.
Oh, yes.
And I just noticed setting up that I actually have Ukrainian flag colors.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because it was separated like this and I didn't notice it right away. I had those two.
Yeah.
So I really like, this is the Super Sock World Championship colorway that she did this year for the Super Sock World Championship. And then of course they didn't have any more BFL, it sold out. So I had to get the merino. But she did have, this is doubloon in BFL.
Nice.
And this is called, what is this one called? Tilly. Yeah, Tilly in her BFL.
Nice.
And Anna Knitter from her podcast, she's designed a new sock pattern called, just a second. I have it here. It's named after a dragon from some video game, Skyrim. And she's, I know, that's a come I can't think of the name. Helgen socks.
Okay.
And there's the pattern there. So she's having a knit along on her at on Ravelry and also on Instagram. And so I thought, well, that'll be fun. So maybe I can use this sock yarn. This is kind of dragony, scaly looking.
It is very much so, yeah.
So I thought I could use that yarn to participate in her sock knit along. And that started June 1st. So what's today, the 5th?
Yeah.
So, and it goes to the end of July, I think.
Okay, cool.
For her knit along. So I thought I would do that and use that sock yarn I just bought. But I also want to show a couple of books. There's an amazing bookstore here that I absolutely love. Before it had previous owners, it was known as Mulberry Books, but the owners retired and they sold their store and the name changed to Sea and Summit. It's in the same location on Parksville. Okay. I don't think they used to have the Mulberry Books had a secondary location as well in Qualicum Beach. I don't know if Sea and Summit does there or not, but the store is just, you go in and you just want to just get comfortable and just take up a whole bunch of books and start reading. It's such a fabulous store, and their books are really, really well curated. And they also have staff picks and they have book reviews from the staff saying why they like the book and stories about it. It's fabulous. So the first book I got from them when I first arrived, like day 2, I was in that bookstore because I have to go to that bookstore. And it's this book. And George Orwell wrote 1984. And that's one of my favorite books, all-time favorite books is 1984. And so this book has been very interesting to read, but I don't have a lot of time to read, unfortunately, because usually I knit and read, but my knitting has been a lot of color work, so I don't have time as much. And then I had to, my mom and dad got me this book for my birthday.
Oh, yes.
From that store.
Stuff about that book, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good because this was on my list of books that I wanted to read. And then I had to go back and get this book. This book is the book about the ghost in the bookstore.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the one. Yeah, it says that a small independent bookstore in Minneapolis is haunted from November 2019 to November 2020 by the store's most annoying customer. So Flora dies on All Souls Day, but she simply won't leave the store. Tookie, who has landed a job selling books after years of incarceration that she survived by reading with murderous attention, must solve the mystery of this haunting while at the same time trying to understand all that occurs in Minneapolis during the year of grief, astonishment, isolation, and furious reckoning. Anyway, I thought it sounded really fun.
It does.
So, yeah, so I picked up that book too, but of course I have to finish other books. And Wendy, look away, look away, look away. Because I have this book that I had to get. Rooms. It's a notebook. It's a blank notebook, but it's got mushrooms and it has matching washing tape.
Very cool.
I know, right? So I had to go back for that. I arrived just as they were unpacking their stock, so I snagged it before they even had to put it on. Yep. Anyway, I'm done. Those are my acquisitions.
Cool.
As well. We don't have an acquisition section, but we have.
No, but once in a while we like to show what we got.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah,
it's been raining for 3 days, so it's nothing important, nothing exciting here. The sun just showed only here for a second.
We've had some sun over the weekend and it's been windy, but it's been nice to be able to just sit outside. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good. No, everything's too wet, unfortunately, to sit because it rains. Like a cloud will come by and then just dump everything, and then the sun will peek out, and then a cloud will come by and then sprinkle, and it's just been on and off raining for 3 days. But overnight, last night, for example, it was raining pretty hard. Yeah, could probably wrap it up, but
Yes.
I hope that this was an okay podcast episode for you. I'm sorry that Sylvie isn't sitting beside me here. It kind of freaked me out when I watched our last podcast and I was on the wrong side. No.
But you're sitting beside me here as I'm watching you. You're sitting right there.
Yeah, but not on TV. And it was just weird. It was like, I don't like this. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is
for now. Yeah.
Exactly. So I hope it's people can manage to get through it. Yeah.
I'm sure they understand, and we're still getting into a whole bunch of fun and knit-alongs that people could join anyways. So
I really hope so. Yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope it wasn't too painful for you and you can participate in our knit-alongs that we have going on. And again, if you have any suggestions for anything that you would like us to do, please put it in the comments below and then we'll see what we can do.
For sure.
But, yeah. Anyway, until then, we will see you in another 2 weeks. Take care. Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.